Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Magically Cruising, the cruise podcast where we share our personal cruise tips and reviews to help you make the most out of your next cruise. My name's Kieran, I'm an independent travel agent, and I love nothing more than helping people book cruise holidays, travel North America, and visit Disney. I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts this week, Sarah and Donna. If you guys like to introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Sarah and I write over at Cruising for All and Extraordinary Chaos, and we share tips and hints on how to get the best out of your cruise. And Donna?
Hi, I write over at Cruising for All as well and lovedo.com.
Brilliant. So this week, I think we've decided to have a chat about something that bonds all of us together, and that's our love for a drinks package on a cruise ship.
Definitely.
I think a good place to start off with this is, how important is a drinks package to you when you decide which cruise you're going to book? Is it something that's the deciding factor, or is it just something that you have to have in the back of your mind as something to think about?
I would say for me, or for us, when we book, we don't look at the drink packages first. We'll obviously choose the cruise first, and then we decide whether we need a drinks package depending on various factors and how long the cruise is for. But generally, we do get a drinks package because it is quite good value, we think.
Yeah, I'd say the same. I mean, in terms of the amount of time we've been cruising, it's quite a new thing, isn't it? It's only been going, I don't know how many years a drinks package has been a thing, but it depends, I think, on the offer, on how much the drinks package is, because we're not going to change the amount we drink. We're not going to drink more because we've got it, but if we're going to save money by buying that package, then we would.
I'd say for me and Phil, the irony is we love a drinks package and we always get it if it's available, but our two favourite cruise lines, both Disney and Virgin, don't offer drinks packages, which is just crazy, the fact that our favourite cruise lines don't offer them. Virgin do it a bit differently, which we can talk about separately, but it is a big important factor to us that they have good drink and good cocktails, but a drinks package is definitely helpful and beneficial to us. But it wouldn't put me off booking a cruise, I guess, is not having a drinks package, as long as there are options and things available on the ship to kind of make drink a bit more cost effective. What we find with those cruise lines that don't have drinks packages is the drinks packages tend to be a bit cheaper, maybe, as in the alcohol price, for individual drinks tend to be a bit cheaper because they're obviously not inflating the price to make the drinks packages look more enticing, is my perception, at least anyway, of what I've noticed when sailing with Disney and Virgin.
Yes, so on that note, which ships do offer drink packages? What are the top lines that offer drink packages?
I think this is probably one you can talk a lot about, Donna, because you sail quite frequently with MSC. But when I speak to customers, if they mention drinks package and the drinks package is the most important thing to them when they're booking, I always instantly think MSC, because MSC have really great rates with the drinks package built into it. I know it's quite complicated in the case of they have 3 different tiers for their alcohol drinks packages, let alone soft drinks packages as well. But they have a really good rate on their kind of middle tier drinks package as well. So I don't know if you've got anything you could say about how that works and if that factors in when you book MSC.
Yes, of course. One of the main questions we get asked all the time is what's included in the premium deluxe package. And it's generally because they price the cocktails at a top tier, and anything over a certain amount might not be on there. But generally, most of the cocktails are included on your deluxe package, apart from a couple of, say, avant-garde ones occasionally, which might have mist coming out the top or something like that. But generally, if you get the top package, most drinks, other than the odd expensive whiskey or something a little bit out of its realm, may not be included. But other big companies, obviously, we have Royal Caribbean, Celebrity Cruises, Princess Cruises, P&O, Carnival and Norwegian Cruise Line, who all offer some kind of drink package.
And I think that's the thing, they're all so different.
Yeah, completely.
Just from my last 3 cruises, one was P&O, one was Royal Caribbean, and the other was Norwegian Cruise Line. Actually, what you get in the drinks packages and the way they manage the drinks package is totally different, which sometimes can be a bit baffling.
That's what I found. I get quite frustrated by cruise lines that have overly complicated drinks packages. I know, like MSC was an example. I know Princess is a little bit like that now. They've introduced Princess Plus and Princess Premier. They've now split the offering so you can have drinks up to a certain amount. One thing I did like on Princess was if you wanted to drink a drink that was above your drinks package, I think off the top of my head it was like $12, maybe $13 was included in the drinks package. You could just pay the difference, which I really liked, because then if I did want to treat myself to like a specialty cocktail or something a bit more, as you say, avant-garde, I could just pay the difference. I didn't feel like I couldn't have it. Whereas I got really frustrated on MSC, for example, of if your drinks package doesn't include it, you have to pay full price for the drink if you drink outside of the drinks package. I think that personally frustrates me, and that would be a deciding factor as well if I did get the drinks package of just, is that an option and how easy is it to drink the things I enjoy within the included drinks package I'm getting.
That's what I found about P&O actually. And I don't get it because P&O and Princess are the same company. So I don't get why they've got two different policies. But on P&O, a lot of the nice cocktails, I mean, you've got a selection of a few, but any others aren't included in the drinks package. And you can't top up. You have to pay for the whole drink, which if on Celebrity, you just pay the extra. Royal Caribbean, I just don't get why you would pay for the drink.
Yeah.
If you've paid for the drinks package, I don't agree with that.
Holland America was the same as well, and it drove me crazy on Holland America.
So MSC, you have to pay extra, Donna?
Apparently, if it's
do you pay the extra?
No, as far as I know, you pay for the drink, so the full price of the drink. I'm not aware of that. To be perfectly honest, there's not very many cocktails that are over. There's one on some of the ships, which is like the mythology drinks. Generally, there's not very many that are over, and I believe, especially when it comes to a whiskey or something like that, you pay for that drink individually on top of your drinks package.
So on an NCL, when we was on last month, sometimes we got drinks that weren't in the drinks package, and where on Celebrity, they get you to sign to say you've had the drink, so you know what you're having extra, which is fine. But on NCL, they didn't. So there were some drinks at the end of the cruise that our friend had, they'd had quite a few. No one had told him what was in, so he hadn't checked it. But there was no signing. You didn't sign to agree to it. It was a bit odd. So whether that's just like a time-saving thing, but on Celebrity, you sign to say, yes, I've had this drink and I'm paying extra. Yeah.
I think that's the thing that people need to be mindful of when you are thinking about booking a cruise. And I think one thing we probably should touch on as well is just the difference between the cruise lines that have cruise fares that include the drinks packages versus cruises where you generally pay cruise only, but then once you've booked onto the cruise, you can then add on a drinks package as an optional extra. Just because this is a new trend that is happening with a lot of the cruise lines as well, whereby they're introducing tariffs or fares ultimately. Things like Celebrity, they have their always included, which once you add that onto your cruise, the fare becomes that rate, and then you get things like gratuities are included then, so they're prepaid. Your Wi-Fi's prepaid, and so's your alcohol package. Princess do the same thing with Princess Plus and Princess Premier. That's a package that you add on, and it's a different cruise fare. You either pay for cruise only, or you pay for Princess Plus or always included as you do with Celebrity. I think that's an interesting trend that we're seeing more cruise lines do, especially in the premium market. They're having this cruise only fare, but you can then add on the bits that are important to you if you're not a drinker, or you have your kind of packaged fare then where you get kind of everything included, and pretty much once you pay that price, it's within a few limitations, relatively all-inclusive. Is that something you personally appeals to you personally when you're booking a cruise? You look at that and you go, great, I know it's all sorted, I don't have to worry about it, or do you prefer to kind of tailor make your cruise as you go along?
I think some people have got to be really mindful because they're going up at an extortionate rate. Some of the cruise lines are really putting the drinks packages up, and I get why, because obviously some people go on and just really abuse it. So I think you've really got to be mindful. And actually, we're going to link this to this podcast. We've got a cruise calculator. And so for quite a few different cruise lines, you can go on and you can put how many drinks you're going to drink a day. We've put the up-to-date prices in, and you can see how much you would spend if you had those drinks in a day. That helps you work out if the drinks package is worth it, because it's not worth it for everybody. Oh. And that's what you've got to be mindful of. I mean, we can drink, but at the current price of some of these drinks packages, it's cheaper to pay as you go. So I don't know, would everybody agree with that? You'd be better off just buying as you go and getting a bottle of wine with dinner. It depends on what the current price is.
It definitely does, and also the amount that you drink. I mean, some people don't drink during the day. I know that when I'm on holiday, I like to have sometimes a little mimosa with my breakfast. So there you go. But also as well, some people don't drink, and a lot of cruise companies, you have to get the same package as your partner in the cabin, unless you actually ring up and you've got a medical reason not to. So you have to look into that as well. And the other reason you might not want a drink package is if you are in a suite that offers a free drink package, which some do, or if you're part of a loyalty team where you've got a diamond lounge access, or a certain amount of drinks a day included in your loyalty access as well.
I think it's important to consider the itinerary you're on as well, of whether or not you're going to maximize. And this is one thing, especially for someone like maybe Royal Caribbean, where their drinks package is quite expensive. It's like pushing $80 per person per day. I always say to my customers when they sail with lines that have expensive drinks packages is, as you just said there as well, is think about how much time you're going to spend on the ship and how much time you'll have to drink. If you're maybe sailing in the Caribbean and you've got a lot of sea days between ports, particularly on some of the more larger cruise lines, where the ships are quite big and they don't sail, like they're not port intensive itineraries, then you're going to have a lot of time on the ship and you're probably going to be inclined to drink more on those days. However, if you're sailing maybe in the Mediterranean where it's quite a port intensive itinerary, you're probably not going to be on the ship that much if you're out exploring in the daytime. So you're only really going to be back on the ship, around, let's say 4 or 5 p.m, drinking then until, midnight or whatever. Can you really drink? And everyone's going to say yes, but can you consistently drink, $80 worth of drink every single day for all, 7 to 10 days of your sailing? That's obviously a very personal question. As you say, some people like 1 or 2 drinks a day. Me and Phil could happily drink $100 a day each on a cruise ship. And that's where you have to think about it. I know it's very enticing to kind of go, oh, wow, it's all inclusive and I'm going to be able to drink as much as I want. But just have a realistic thought about, is it worth you paying that extra? Are you going to get the use out of all that drinks that you're paying that premium for? Because you are technically paying for them. So just make sure, as the girls have said, use like a calculator tool that's available just to work out, would you actually maximize and benefit from having that drinks package?
Right, let's do an experiment then. Who wants to do it?
Who's the biggest drinker?
Okay, yeah, exactly. When do we start with this? Okay. Right, go on, Donna. Right, okay, so I'm on the Royal Caribbean.
Have you got the calculator up?
Yeah, I've got the calculator up. So
am I having a day at sea? I'm at sea today. Have your mimosa.
Right, you're at sea today. So you've had your mimosa. It's 11 o'clock.
Oh, is it? That's a bit late for me, mimosa. No, then we're going to have a little walk. On deck. We might do a little spot of sunbathing. So we get changed back in the room, have some sunbathing. And then while we're sunbathing, we'll have a little cocktail before dinner, before lunch. So we're going to have a cocktail. We're going to have a pina colada.
Right, okay. Well, I got a pina colada on there, so you could have a lavender daiquiri, right?
Obviously, we don't drink all day, but obviously it's nice to drink on a sea day. And then we're going to go for lunch in the main dining room today because we want to sit down lunch. So I've covered up my bikini, and we're going to go and have a couple of glasses of rosé.
Right, okay, yep.
Or white wine, okay. And then we might go and play a little game down in the schooner bar, for instance, we're in Royal Caribbean, and we're going to have just a little light martini while I'm having my quiz.
Okay, right, Brill, yep.
And then we'll catch the last of the sun. We're going to go back up on deck after a little walk and maybe have another cocktail while we're up on deck.
Mm-hmm.
Probably be quite drunk by now, won't I? And then after we've had a little sunbathe up on deck, and I will have a bottle of sparkling water as well. We always have lots of sparkling water, so I don't think we've had that as well. In between sparkling water, sparkling. And then we're going to go back to the room to get changed for dinner. So I do like to take a little glass of champagne with me or a glass of Prosecco while I'm getting ready.
I haven't got that, but you can have Chardonnay. Go on, there's none on my list. Oh, no, you've already had Prosecco. And I'm not upgrading to the premium version to let you have multiples.
Oh,
so right, okay.
Yep, and then we're going to go for dinner, and we're going to have maybe a glass of wine at dinner, maybe a glass of red wine at dinner.
Yep, okay.
And some sparkling water as well, of course, with every meal.
Yep.
And then we're going to spend the evening in a few different bars, a drink here, maybe take a drink to the theatre. However, some theatres you can't take your drink into.
Right.
And then by that time we're a little bit drunk, so we're just going to go all in at the disco and have a brandy Alexander.
Treat yourself.
Right, okay. Right, so
that's a new question after all the drinks.
You have drunk $136.99 worth of alcohol today. So for you, Donna, it is worth getting a drinks package.
My coffee as well. Without my morning coffee as well.
Right, let's put your coffee on. So with your coffee, it's $143.98. So actually, when you look at it like that and calculate it and use the calculators, it evens itself out, even if you've got a port day.
Yeah, you're going to make a save in there then, aren't you?
That's a port day, isn't it? So obviously, not on a port day, you might, probably, if I was going out, I wouldn't have a mimosa in the morning. We'd go straight out. We'd be out for half a day or a full day. We'd come back, have some drinks before dinner, and then we'd have evening drinks. So we wouldn't drink as much. But you still would easily, I think, do around 60, which is about the premium price package anyway.
But it's 80 at the moment, isn't it? But
Yeah.
that's another thing, Kieran. I suppose we've covered quite a lot at the moment, but sales. Do they do offers on drinks packages? I know you don't know when, but what tips could you give people for getting offers?
I think Royal's an easy one to state because you can always add your drinks package as and when to know that it's done, you're budgeting for it. But keep an eye out, work with your travel agent, and they will let you know if there are any sales that happen. I know Royal Caribbean for UK sailors, at least anyway, and I've been told American sailors get the same. There are spot sales whereby certain sailings, certain itineraries, certain seasons will have deep discounts. I think we had in the UK for people who booked, got to get my years, we're in 23 now. So people who booked in 2021 for sailings in 2022, they had £35 per person per night, which is a bargain.
I got that.
Absolute bargain for a cruise.
Yeah,
so
we got that.
Definitely there's no harm on, and again, check the terms and conditions of the drinks package because some, once you add them, that's it, it's final and done. But definitely Royal Caribbean is worth maybe holding out and seeing if there's a sale. They'll kill me the fact that I'm saying this because they want you added it at the full price. But definitely keep an eye out for it. If you're going to be working with a cruise line where generally like Holland America have it all, Princess Plus, Princess Premier on Princess Cruise Lines, all includes on Celebrity Cruise Lines, what you'll find is they probably won't offer a sale price on the drinks package just because they are incentivizing you changing to that fare. So that's how they're passing that saving on to you, is you're saving money on the three things together, the drinks, tips, and Wi-Fi, or whatever else they include in their particular Have It All or equivalent package. Some cruise lines will do spot sales. I know like Virgin Voyages, for example, with their bar tab concept, they give you bonus money to spend on the bar if you prepay for a drinks package, or for their equivalent of one. And I think depends on when you book, you can either get a bonus $100, or if you're in the loyalty scheme, you can get $150 for every $300 you put behind the bar for drinks. So definitely keep an eye out for them. Generally, you're going to find what we call wave season. The wave season is January through to kind of early March. That's wave. It's kind of January sale season. If there are going to be offers, they will usually be put out at that time of the year, or Black Friday, which obviously we have in the UK as well. But for our American listeners, Black Friday is a good time when a lot of the cruise lines will do spot sales for usually a week or two where they'll offer good discounts on either the cruise fare or they'll include things for free or extra as well. They would be the two times I would say definitely keep an eye out for, but you do unfortunately need to list it out or work with a travel agent who could just let you know, hey, just a heads up, here's a great offer. This is now on sale for your sailing. You may want to add it on now type of thing.
And do you do that? Do you let your customers know that those offers are available?
Always, because I've got a big database. I've got a big database of all my customers and what ships they're sailing on and when they're sailing. And obviously we get sent all the promotions as and when they come out. So I just kind of go, great, I know that I've got X number of customers on Royal Caribbean. I have a mailing list set up already for all my Royal Caribbean customers, and they just get notified as soon as I get notified of any promotions coming out for those sailings or offers that are coming out.
Donna, so do you want to touch on children's drinks packages?
Yeah, of course. So with children's drinks packages, you can have your mocktails. So they do a soda package, some of them, which literally is just your soda. You generally get a cup from some cruise lines where you can just go to machines throughout the ship, where you can just top up with soda only. Or they do like a mocktail one, which is non-alcoholic drink package, which is for children, but it's also for people that sort of want a little bit more exciting than just your average, just your sodas. And the non-alcoholic one obviously covers your coffees and your hot chocolates as well. But again, they all slightly differ between each cruise line.
I love that. On Royal Caribbean, again, sorry, I always do it, don't I? Royal Caribbean. But I love the freestyle machines because it just makes getting a drink so easy that you haven't got to go to the bar.
Yeah.
You could just, and they're everywhere. They're all over the ship and you can just go and fill up. And I really love that about that because it takes the pressure off the bar staff.
And the choice is amazing, isn't it? Unbelievable choice.
It really annoyed me actually in Holland America. We paid for the drinks package. We didn't get Have It All, so we bought the drinks package separately. And I assumed it was a kind of tiering system of you go for like the I think it's tea, coffee, soft drinks package, and the premium drinks package. So I assumed because we got the alcoholic drinks package, it would include soft drinks as well because that was the tier. Nope, not at all. Totally separate packages. And if you wanted soft drinks, you had to have the soft drinks package separately to the alcohol package as well. And it really drove me crazy because I drink a lot of Coke when I'm on a cruise type of thing. During the daytime when I don't want to have an alcoholic drink, I'll have like a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero. And every single time I went to order, they kept reminding me that it would come out of my 15 drinks. But I didn't get access to the freestyle machine, so I couldn't help myself as much as I wanted. I had to use up an alcoholic drink credit to be able to have just a can of Coke. Which, yes, I could get Coke, but it was just constantly, they were like, why are you having a Coke? Why don't you have a rum and Coke? Like, because I don't want to drink alcohol right now. Well, you're not maximizing your credits. I'm like, I know that, but I also would like just to have a Coke with my lunch type of thing. It was just a really weird, like, I paid a lot of money pushing, I think it was like $700 maybe for me alone for that 7-night sailing. And I couldn't get a Coke as much as I wanted. I had to use up one of my alcoholic credits if I wanted to have just a can of Coke for that week.
Wow, that doesn't make it almost worth it, does it? If it's £700 for 15.
No.
If you can't have coffee oh my God, I have to have coffee as soon as I wake up. That's the first thing I do is get my dress on, go and just grab a coffee. Or if I've got obviously a machine.
I think coffee was a credit as well. So we were getting alcoholic coffees, obviously, to make it worthwhile, but I can't remember if it was or wasn't, but I don't like things like that. That, for me anyway, and again, I sail premium generally as a cruise line sailor. I like it when there's no kind of random exclusions on things like that. Once you're paying up to a certain tier, I quite like it when it's like, no, you've not paid for this service, you get that service. Nothing irritates me more on a cruise than when it's like, yes, you paid for this, but you can't do this because you're not on this type of tariff. They tend to be the cruise lines that I personally would avoid because I get major FOMO. Like, I don't have the right thing to unlock the right thing to do the thing I want to do. So that's why I tend to avoid cruise lines that have those overly complicated tariffs where, if you don't get the right one, you can't have the one with a sticker next to it on the cocktail menu.
I mean, I think Princess, Royal Caribbean and NCL, from my experience, have all been okay. I mean, there is stuff you can't have. Royal Caribbean, Princess and Celebrity. NCL is good. There's a really good choice. Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, excellent choice. And if you go over, you pay the bit extra. Princess was brilliant. I don't know now because it's all changed. I wouldn't be feeling like I'm missing out on those desserts. I'll tell you. They just no. Do you know what it reminds me of?
I mean, as it is.
Well, when you went to Portugal as a kid and they had those signs outside restaurants of the different food. That's what the pictures remind me of.
Well, this is the thing. I think this is where, again, though, and I don't agree with what they've done with Princess Plus or Princess Premier, because it used to be really good value, and now they've tried to up the price on it, and they've added extra things into it. The things they've added in to justify the price point aren't things that I personally would want, which again comes back to this. I'm all
that lollipop.
Do you get what I mean? It's. I'm all for kind of getting a lot of extra value. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big believer in added value, but the value has to be worthwhile to me as a customer. And I don't think some of the things included in, Princess Plus and Princess Premier, at least anyway, are kind of the value I look for on a cruise. Because as you say, those sundaes do look like sugar in a glass.
I mean, I couldn't even give. Well, he's an adult now, but I don't even know how he'd work it out as a diabetic how to eat that.
That's right, though, isn't it? I mean, it is mad, isn't it, really? Promoting 2 desserts and extra desserts, and you're paying for your cruise already. Your food should be included. Okay, alcohol's different. So I do find that a little bit bizarre to add desserts to your drinks package, really. In effect,
I'm not being funny. You eat them, you're going to need a Slimming World membership thrown in as well.
Well, I've just pulled up the website, and the good news is Princess Plus also includes 2 fitness classes per cruise as well, so you can indulge in those 2 desserts a day.
I got that.
Because you also get the fitness classes as well. So they have thought about that for you.
You have to do them, though. You have to do them.
Well, you can't have your 2 desserts per day unless you go to the fitness classes.
Yeah, you'd have to tick a box. That'd have to be compulsory for me.
And this is the thing, like, it's great. It's great that there are these options to kind of, get more on your cruise. I love that. I love the fact that there are options for sailors, because every customer or every sailor is different. They like different things on their cruises. I'm not a fan of this trend we're seeing within cruise lines where they're packaging more and more stuff into this cruise fare, and there's no way to kind of take it out. So it's like, so I can't pay less if I don't want the fitness classes, because I'm never going to go where the gym is. I've still yet to find a gym on a cruise ship to this day. And it's things like the premium desserts. I'm not a big dessert person, so that doesn't appeal to me. So why am I paying more to get the thing I want for the things I'm not going to eat or not enjoy? Yeah. So I'm all for more options and ways to tailor make my cruise to how I want it, but they have to be reasonable and logical for how I like to enjoy my cruises as well.
I mean, to be quite honest, I'm looking at it now, and it's not that bad, is it? I mean, how much is it?
It's $50, £50 in the UK at least anyway, per person per day.
So that's not that bad, is it? It's reasonable. I think what's done it for me, they didn't need to put the desserts
No.
in. I think the desserts have been a bit of a red herring
Yeah.
that have probably not had the best press in the Facebook groups, because I can just keep seeing these giant lollies with bottles of beer and...
I was just going to quickly give the price for the in USD as well. Sorry for our American guests. I just had it, now I've lost it. So $60 for Princess Plus, and I believe I saw $80 for Princess Premier per guest per day.
So it's not bad. It's actually, compared to a lot of cruise lines, really reasonable. I think it's just that red herring of the desserts as...
And that actually, Princess Premier isn't that bad because it does also include the photo package as well. So you get unlimited digital photos and 3 prints. And you get the unlimited desserts, unlimited classes. You get access to the juice bar. You get to have a Princess Medallion accessory as well. And you get reserved theatre seating as well, which is great if you're somebody who doesn't like rushing and fighting to the front to get a good seat as well. So that's really good.
And Wi-Fi.
And Wi-Fi, yeah.
Wi-Fi's including with both, is it? Oh yeah, Wi-Fi for up to 4 devices. So when you look at what there is, it's excellent value.
Oh.
But the lollies have taken over the limelight.
But this is how they get you, though. Now look, all of a sudden we've gone from going £50 isn't worth it, and they're like, oh, but for £65 you can get this much. So all of a sudden now we're spending more money.
That's it. I don't care about ice lollies and desserts. I want Wi-Fi. That's my priority. And speciality dining, because it was very good.
It comes back to that point, though, isn't it? Of people like to tailor make their cruises for how it works for them, and this. I guess it's just a concern moving forward with cruise lines where they're doing more and more of this stuff. Of, you know, are they pushing customers to pay for more money so they got more revenue versus giving customers the holidays they want? And it is great value. There's no denying if you actually break it down. And you know, they say Princess Plus is worth $140 per day. Just, am I going to benefit from all of that $140 per day value? And that's a very unique thing that only the individual customer, which is why, again, it's really important that customers do check themselves what they're getting in their drinks packages. And there's not just drinks packages, there's other packages you can add onto your cruise. Like I know Royal Caribbean have the Key, don't they, for example? So that gives you access to different perks and benefits as well. So it's just definitely worth checking if you personally benefit from it before you decide whether you're going to spend that money to get that package or that add-on.
Yeah, I mean, just to add, the Princess Premier is 140 Australian dollars or 100 US dollars.
Okay, so let's kind of leave this here because I think we're getting into a lot of detail about the individual cruise line packages, which we do want to do. So I think this is going to be the first episode in hopefully a series of episodes we're going to do where we are going to do a bit more of a deep dive into the individual cruise lines and what their drinks packages offer and whether or not it's right for you or not. As you could just probably tell from just a conversation we've had amongst ourselves about Princess, there's a lot of discussion around, you know, where the value is and is it worthwhile for you. So definitely keep an eye out for those episodes. We're going to try and keep them shorter, so kind of like mini cruises, and where we will share a lot more of the detail about kind of how much the drinks packages cost, what's included, what's not included. So if you are sailing on one of these lines, you can just look for that one particular episode and get all the facts and information on their packages to help you decide whether it's worth you adding onto your cruise. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope it gives you a bit of an insight into kind of just drinks packages and the things to look for and the things to think about if you are going to add a drinks package to your cruise. And again, I hope you enjoy us as well, join us even for our mini episodes. That'll hopefully give you a bit more of a detailed look at the individual lines and, again, back to tips that you need. Now, I know you guys have tons of information on your website. I think your entire website is built on the back of kind of drinks menus and how to kind of get the most out of drinks packages. So definitely, I think if guys are looking for kind of drinks menus and understanding tariffs without listening to the podcast, I'm sure you guys have got it covered on your website, yeah?
Yep, we have. I think we've got most cruise lines, and we've got drinks calculators, drinks menus, drinks prices. We spend all of our time researching to make sure that they're up to date.
I thought you were going to go with we spend all of our time at the bars researching on cruise ships. Which...
Well, obviously that's just our job. We have to do that because it's our job. It's a hard, somebody has to do it.
I volunteer. I do it every time. I can tell you what all the bars are on pretty much every cruise ship I sail on. But yeah, so if you guys are looking for kind of facts and information on how to get the most out of your drinks packages on board, then definitely hunt down the guys' website. We've got a link to the description of the podcast, so you can find the details there. But also as well, if you are looking for more information about like to book a cruise and you're traveling from the UK, I would love to help you. You can find me online pretty much everywhere under Magical Traveller. My social media tags are Magical TRVLR. And if the guys are looking to find you online, where's the best place to find you?
You can find us over at Cruising for All or Cruising with Kids, and myself at lightlivedo.com, and Sarah.
I'm also over at Cruising for All, Cruising with Kids, and extraordinarychaos.com.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And like I say, I hope it's given you a bit of an overview of drinks packages on board cruise ships. If you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave us a review on iTunes. It just helps iTunes or Apple Podcasts know that we're out there. And if you're watching this on video on YouTube, please do follow us, subscribe, and give us a like. Leave us a comment as well about what you've enjoyed or any tips you've got as well. We'd love to see them. Other than that, guys, all the best and see you on the next episode. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.